Is the church becoming irrelevant? Church attendance has dropped significantly since World War II, when 60% of Americans attended church. By 1991, the percentage dropped to 49% of Americans attending church, and today only 18% of Americans worship in the local church, according to Everyday Evangelism by Dr. Wheeler and Dr. Early. Seminary professor and consultant Aubrey Malphurs said, essentially, what was a churched, supposedly Christian culture has become an unchurched, post-Christian culture. People in our culture are not anti-church. They simply view the church as irrelevant to their lives. The days of evangelism and big evangelistic events have dwindled, according to my friend and evangelist Dave Bunwall. He told me 20 years ago an evangelist could not possibly go to all the churches he was invited to. Today, the average evangelist will be hard-pressed to find a church who wants to have an evangelist come to their church. Things have changed, my friend. Everyday Evangelism author Wheeler and Early say, evangelism today is a process and not an event. In the past, most of our public institutions were founded on Christian principles, promoting Christianity. But today, everything has changed. The average person does not even know the Bible and cannot relate to Christian terminology. You see, we're living in a post-Christian culture that is being driven by a secular world, public schools, institutions of higher learning, the entertainment industry, and the media. If we're going to reach the lost, my friend, we must begin to build relationships and model Christ, teaching people the basics before we can win them to Christ. My cousins Greg and Beth Ann Witt spent a week at the Teen Quest Ranch the summer of 2019 working with kids who came to us from China, from the country of China. Most of those kids had no idea about Christ, no idea about the basics of Christianity. Greg and Beth Ann spent the first several days teaching the students about creation, who is God, who is Christ, and the reliability of the Bible. By the end of the week, 19 of the 34 students were ready to come to faith in Christ. You see, I believe the local church is relevant to those who attend, but much of the time lacks the ability to see beyond the walls of the church. The church's idea of outreach is to find as many people to enter the church building as possible. Our goal should be send as many believers to build relationships with people outside the church and then model Christ and win them to Christ. Unfortunately, most Christians do not share their faith with anyone. Many parishioners live one way in church and another way outside of church. People of the world are not influenced by our inconsistency. They're influenced by our consistent, godly living, my friend. We must live like a Christian before we can show them how to become a Christian. Our evangelism should be lifestyle, not an event. Dr. Early and Wheeler said, quote, we reach people as we allow investigators to belong before we can ask them to believe. This is Mark Witt for Teen Quest. Have a great day.